This video is about building a masculine frame. Not fake confidence, not loud dominance, but real internal strength that other people feel without you saying a word. The purpose of this video is to give you principles that actually work in real life, so you stop reacting to the world and start shaping it. If you want respect, clarity, and control over your life, subscribe to the channel and stay sharp. A masculine frame is not attitude, not volume, not aggression. It is the internal structure that holds you together when pressure hits. It is the backbone of your mind, the rules you live by when nobody is watching. Your values define what you accept and what you reject. Your standards decide who gets access to your time, energy, and presence. Your self-respect is the line that never moves even when you want approval. A masculine frame is how you see yourself before the world reacts to you. If you see yourself as solid, the world feels it. If you see yourself as uncertain, people sense it immediately. Men with a weak frame ask for permission with their words, their body language, and their behavior. Men with a strong frame move like they already belong. When your frame is solid, you do not seek approval because you do not need external confirmation. You do not explain yourself to be liked. You do not over-justify your decisions. You do not chase validation through attention, praise, or acceptance. You are calm because you know who you are and what you stand for. People adjust to you because stability is rare. Uncertainty repels, confidence attracts. When you are grounded, others either rise to your level or remove themselves. You do not try to control people, you simply remain consistent. Your presence sets the tone without effort. Weak men adapt to others because they fear rejection. They change opinions to fit rooms. They bend values to avoid conflict. They trade respect for comfort and call it being nice. Strong men hold their ground because they trust themselves. They listen, but they do not fold. They are flexible in tactics but firm in principles. They would rather be disliked for who they are than accepted for who they are not. A masculine frame is not loud, it is unshakable. It does not need to dominate because it cannot be moved. This is the foundation everything else is built on. Most men lose their frame for one simple reason: they want to be liked more than they want to be respected. Approval becomes the currency they live on. They shape their words to avoid tension. They soften their opinions to keep peace. They read faces instead of trusting their own judgment. They explain too much because they are seeking permission. They talk longer when a short answer would be enough. They justify decisions that do not need justification. Over-explaining is not clarity. It is insecurity leaking out. The more you explain, the more you signal doubt in your own authority. They compromise too fast because standing firm feels uncomfortable. Instead of holding a line, they negotiate with themselves. They abandon their standards the moment pressure shows up. They call it being flexible, but it is fear wearing a friendly mask. They tolerate disrespect to avoid conflict. They laugh at jokes meant to lower them. They stay silent when boundaries are crossed. They allow small violations thinking it is not a big deal. But every small violation is a message that you are available to be tested again. Every time you betray your standards, your frame cracks. Not loudly, not all at once, but internally. Your confidence weakens because you know you did not stand up for yourself. Your self-trust erodes because you taught your mind that comfort matters more than integrity. Do this long enough and people stop taking you seriously. They sense inconsistency. They feel the lack of conviction. They push because there is nothing solid pushing back. And the most dangerous part is this: you stop taking yourself seriously. You no longer trust your word. You feel weaker in your own body. Once a man loses self-respect, no amount of external respect can replace it. A lost frame is not taken from you. It is given away decision by decision, silence by silence, compromise by compromise. A strong frame is calm because it is not chained to reactions. You are not emotionally hijacked by opinions because other people's thoughts are not your identity. You listen, but you do not absorb. You observe, but you do not chase. Detachment does not mean you do not care. It means you are not controlled. Praise does not inflate you because you did not build yourself for applause. Compliments are acknowledged and released. They do not change your posture, your tone, or your direction. Men who rise from praise fall from criticism. Men who are detached remain steady in both. Criticism does not break you because your self-image is not outsourced. You filter feedback instead of swallowing it. If it is useful, you take it. If it is noise, you discard it. Your worth is not debated. It is decided. When you detach from outcomes, you gain leverage. Needing a specific result makes you weak. Wanting without needing makes you dangerous. The man who can lose without collapsing is the man who cannot be manipulated. Detachment gives you options. You can walk away without resentment. You can say no without guilt. You can stay silent without anxiety. You can act without rushing. That freedom is felt immediately. People sense when you are not grasping. They feel the lack of neediness. They recognize you are not afraid to lose them. And paradoxically, that is what makes them respect you more. A detached man moves slower, speaks less, and sees more. He does not force alignment. He allows reality to reveal itself. Power does not come from control. It comes from independence of outcome. Men with a strong frame keep their word because their word is not cheap. They do not speak to sound good. They speak to commit. When they say something, it carries weight because it is backed by action. Your word to others matters, but your word to yourself matters more. Every promise you break to yourself teaches your mind that you cannot be trusted. Every promise you keep builds quiet confidence. This is how internal authority is formed. If you say you will do something, you do it. No excuses when it gets uncomfortable. No stories when motivation disappears. No negotiating with weakness in the moment. You either act or you stop making promises. Strong men are careful with commitments. They do not overpromise. They do not talk about plans they have not earned. They understand that discipline starts with honesty. Keeping your word builds alignment between thought and action. There is no inner conflict, no self-doubt, no split identity. You become predictable to yourself, and that creates stability. This consistency hardens your frame. Your posture changes. Your voice slows. Your decisions become cleaner, not because you are trying, but because you trust yourself. When you respect yourself, others follow naturally. People listen when you speak because your history supports you. They rely on you because you do not flinch under pressure. Authority is not demanded, it is observed. A man without his word has nothing to stand on. A man who keeps his word becomes unshakable. Masculine men do not overtalk because they do not need to convince. They understand that excessive words dilute authority. Every extra sentence that adds no value weakens the message. Powerful communication is efficient, not emotional. They speak clearly and directly, no rambling, no filler, no defensive explanations. Their words land because they are chosen, not spilled. They pause because they are not rushed. A pause signals confidence. It shows you are thinking, not reacting. Men who rush to speak reveal anxiety. Men who pause control the tempo. They allow silence without discomfort. Silence is not something to escape. Silence is space, and space creates tension. Tension makes people pay attention. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. It forces others to fill the gap. It exposes insecurity in those who cannot sit with it. When you stop filling space, people listen harder. They lean in. They weigh your words. They sense that when you speak, it matters. Men who talk too much give away leverage. Men who speak with restraint command presence. Say less, mean more, and let your actions finish the sentence. Your boundaries define your frame because they show where you end and the world begins. A man without boundaries has no shape. He is available to be pushed, pulled, and reshaped by anyone with a stronger will. What you allow teaches people how to treat you. Not what you say once, but what you tolerate repeatedly. Every ignored disrespect becomes permission. Every unchallenged line crossing becomes a new normal. If someone crosses a line, you address it calmly, not immediately with emotion, but with clarity. You name the behavior. You state the boundary. You do not attack the person, you correct the action. No anger, because anger signals loss of control. No drama, because drama invites chaos. Just certainty, because certainty ends arguments. A calm, firm response carries more weight than raised voices ever will. Strong men do not beg for respect. They do not explain why they deserve it. They do not threaten. They do not plead. They simply remove access when boundaries are violated. Enforcement is the difference between talk and authority. A boundary without consequence is a suggestion. A boundary with follow-through is law. When you enforce boundaries consistently, people adapt. Some will respect you, some will leave. Both outcomes are wins. Respect is not negotiated. It is enforced quietly through standards and action. A weak frame reacts because it lives in urgency. It is pulled by emotions, opinions, and external pressure. The environment dictates its behavior. Whoever is loudest wins control. Strong frame chooses because it owns time. It does not allow moments to hijack direction. It understands that reaction is easy, but choice is power. Choice requires awareness, and awareness creates authority. You do not rush decisions under pressure, because pressure exposes discipline. Anyone can act fast. Very few can act correctly. Speed without thought is chaos. Patience under stress is dominance. You take a breath to create space. That breath is the gap between impulse and action. Inside that gap, you regain control. You slow the moment instead of being dragged by it. You think before you speak. You assess before you move. You ask what action serves your values, not your emotions. Intent replaces impulse. You move with intent because intention aligns action with identity. There is no wasted energy, no regret afterward, no damage control. This alone separates leaders from followers. Followers react to circumstances. Leaders decide the response. One is driven by the world, the other shapes it. Control is not loud. It is deliberate. A man who chooses his actions chooses his life. Stop reacting, start choosing. A weak frame reacts because it lives in urgency and emotion. It lets external pressure dictate behavior. Whoever is loudest or most aggressive takes control. A strong frame chooses because it owns time and space. It does not allow moments to hijack direction. Reaction is easy, but choice is power. You do not rush decisions under pressure, because pressure exposes discipline. Speed without thought creates chaos. Patience under stress creates dominance. You take a breath to create distance between impulse and action. That breath restores control. You think before you speak. You assess before you move. You ask what serves your values, not your emotions. You move with intent, because intent aligns action with identity. This alone separates leaders from followers. Followers react to circumstances. Leaders decide the response. One is driven by the world, the other shapes it. Control is quiet, deliberate, and absolute. Your body supports your frame. Posture matters, because your body speaks before your mouth ever opens. A collapsed posture signals hesitation, insecurity, and submission, while standing tall signals certainty, readiness, and self-respect. Without a single word, eye contact matters, because it shows comfort. With presence, men who avoid eye contact communicate fear or dishonesty, while steady, relaxed eye contact communicates confidence and control. How you move matters, because rushed movements reveal anxiety and tension, while slow, deliberate movement shows you are not threatened by the moment. Train your body, because physical weakness leaks into mental weakness. Strength, endurance, and coordination build internal confidence that cannot be faked. Stand tall not to look big, but because alignment changes how you breathe, how you think, and how you respond. Move slowly, because men who rush are seeking approval, and men who are grounded allow the world to adjust to their pace. A strong body reinforces a strong mind, because discipline in the physical realm hardens discipline in the mental realm. When your body is trained, your nervous system is calmer under pressure. Your reactions slow your decisions. Sharpen people read your presence before they hear your words. They sense stability or chaos, strength or weakness before you speak. And once that impression is formed, your words either confirm it or fight against it. Your body is the frame before the frame is ever spoken. Accept conflict without fear. A masculine frame does not avoid tension. It faces it head-on. Because avoiding conflict is surrender. It handles disagreement with calm clarity, not with emotion or panic. You can disagree without aggression by speaking your truth with confidence, and without needing to dominate. You can stand firm without being emotional, because firmness is rooted in principle, not ego. Conflict is not something to fear. It is a tool, a proving ground, a way to demonstrate stability and self-respect. Most men fold under pressure because they tie their worth to approval or outcomes. They lash out or shrink back. But a man with a strong frame sees conflict as information, as leverage, as an opportunity to reinforce boundaries. He remains present, steady, and composed under provocation. He listens before he responds. He does not react instantly to insult or challenge. He measures and chooses every word, every gesture, every action. Because mastery of conflict signals mastery of self. The stronger the frame, the less rattled by opinion, by resistance, by pressure. A man who accepts conflict without fear, controls his environment without force. He sets standards without threats. He communicates authority without raising his voice. This is the line that separates weak men who crumble from strong men who rise. Live by your code, daily. Your frame is built daily, not in grand gestures, but in the repeated choices. No one sees through discipline, through consistency, through small victories that add up over time, through honesty with yourself and others, because integrity strengthens the foundation, through action, when it is uncomfortable, because growth happens at the edge of resistance. You do not need to dominate others to prove strength. Real masculine power is not loud or aggressive. It is controlled, deliberate, and unwavering. You master yourself by keeping promises to yourself, by holding standards, by enforcing boundaries, by facing fears, and doing what must be done even when convenient alternatives exist. Your mind, body, and presence align, because every day you choose to act in accordance with your code. Every day you honor your word. Every day you take responsibility for your decisions. Every day you build trust in yourself, and the world notices this quiet authority. The man who lives by his code daily is not swayed by trends, opinions, or pressure. He moves through life with purpose and direction. He does not demand respect because he embodies it. He does not seek approval because he defines it. His frame is unshakable because it is proven in action and reinforced every day. That is the essence of real masculine power. A masculine frame is not something you pretend. It is something you build, brick by brick, choice by choice. If you apply what you learned here, your presence will change, and the world will respond differently. Subscribe to the channel. This is where strong men are built.